Will there be a rate hike? The Bank of Canada is poised to release its rate decision amidst skyrocketing inflation. For more on this is Tyler Orton with Business in Vancouver. And Tyler, will there be a hike and what does it mean for Canadians?
Well, there's certainly a lot more wind in the sails for forecasters believing that a rate hike could come before the spring, as most economists had originally predicted. We're also getting a statement coming out from the U.S. Federal Reserve later this afternoon that will hint as to whether that country will be hiking rates next month, or I should say in March as well. So this is going to be interesting because the immediate impacts here in British Columbia, let's just point to mortgage rates. Those would go up, and that could put strains on sales here in real estate, one of the biggest components of the economy on the West Coast. And looking further down the road for buyers, there are a lot of questions if those people that have gotten into the market recently will be able to keep up with rate hikes for mortgages specifically. The Canadian dollar might also go up with a rate hike, but many believe that's already been priced into the markets as we speak. So I would say that consumer products, there might be a little bit more price stability there, but the inflation that we're experiencing just at the grocery store, for example, it's tied into a lot of supply chain issues as well. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll know in a few minutes whether or not the Bank of Canada will go through it today, whether they're going to wait maybe closer to April.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we'll find out. Eyes to that. Canadian and other world economies are looking at a cut in growth forecast, but is that the case here in BC?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. Now, for Canada overall, the IMF is downgrading its growth forecast, just 3.3% growth in 2022 versus their prediction last year of 4.1% growth. Now, economists at the Business Council of British Columbia, on the other hand, they're actually believing that growth in this province will be at 5%. So that's a big difference between those two economists, or those two groups of economists. Now, the economy in BC, it has been proven resilient even after the flood disaster choked off transportation networks and raised a lot of concerns about where the economy was going moving forward. And the IMF, I should point out, is also downgrading the U.S. economy as well. And look, less activity in the U.S. economy means less activity in not just Canada, but BC as well. We're seeing lumber prices, they've been going downwards, perhaps pointing to less demand from the United States. And we know that cross-border tourism, it's pretty much nil at this point. So let's take a look and see how BC does. I suspect it will be one of the better performing provinces, just based on what we're seeing from other bank economists as well in the last few, I'd say the last 6 weeks or so with regards to their own forecasts.
Okay, well, it's still early in the year, so hopefully things go well for us because, yeah, things are kind of bleak for some industries right now. So thanks so much for your time and your expertise this morning. That is Tyler Orton with Business in Vancouver. See you soon.
Thanks, Jen.